No, please don't do that.
Back on the record on file number 25354F1, People versus Afeni, Babu Muhammad.
Kumar Palapu for the people, P74099.
Christopher Urban, P8113 on behalf of the people.
Your Honor, Josh Jones appearing on behalf of Ms. Muhammad, who stands to my right.
And Catherine O'Meara Bolden, P53823 on behalf of Ms. Muhammad. Afeni Muhammad.
Very good. You may be seated. We left off with the medical examiner's report that was tendered to the court. My understanding is we have one more witness. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, you may call your witness.
People call Lieutenant Alex Hollish, who was just here.
Good morning,
Waiting on
everyone.
that, Judge. As far as I see, the
How's
only
everybody
people
else?
that are
Those that's
in the
watching.
gallery and are people from the media, are victim.
So this is the preliminary hearing for Afeni Muhammad, the McDonald's employee or former McDonald's employee that stabbed her manager. There's a part one to it, but there was some chaos that happened in the courtroom, and they had to go on break or discontinue the hearing for a while.
Advocate in the courtroom, myself and Mr. Urban, the public defender's office, and some camera from media, and of course your staff.
Thank you.
Defense will attest to that as well, Your Honor.
Yeah, she do look different.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Put your hand down. State your name for the record.
Detective Lieutenant Alexander Hollish, Alexander Common, H-O-L-I-S-H.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Thanks, Judge. Where do you work, sir?
Eastland Police Department.
How long do you work there?
About 18 years now.
And what's your current rank and duties?
Currently, I'm a detective lieutenant. I'm in charge of investigative division for the department.
What were your duties on or about July 10th of 2025?
I was in the same capacity as a detective lieutenant.
And at some point in time, did you get contacted to conduct an interview with a suspect?
I was about, by then it was probably shortly after 8 a.m.
And at that point in time, what did you do?
I made contact with Ms. Muhammad, who was in a booking room.
And when you say Ms. Muhammad, do you see Afeni Muhammad in the courtroom today?
I do.
And could you identify her for us, please?
She's sitting to the left of me, far left. She's wearing a jumpsuit issued by Macomb County Jail. Her hair is different since, but at the time she had red hair, but I do recognize her facial features.
Let the record reflect that
Pretty funny, you said her hair is different.
Lieutenant Hollish has identified the defendant.
So noted for the record.
So where did your interactions take place with the defendant?
First, she was in a booking room, and she was wearing a like hooded jacket. that I observed had blood on it, so I asked her to remove the jacket. And after that, I had to call a female officer from St. Clair Shores because
Hold on, Veronica. You said, let me see. To tell you the truth, I know this is when it happened. I used to work at the McDonald's on French Road and Gratiot. The way they talk to people is crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say like the one she worked at was in East Point, right? But I see that they must be under the same district, and both of them are owned by the same owner. Okay, got you. I got you.
did not have a female officer working at the time. She walked up to the private area where female officer from St. Clair Shores observed her take off her clothing that we took as evidence and gave her our jail clothing.
And after that, what happened?
After that, I spoke with her at our interview room.
Tell me a little bit about that interview room.
It's a small room. It's pretty much table, 3 chairs. Detective May, he's my partner. He joined me during the interview. It's equipped with a camera and microphone. There's a small filing cabinet, and that's it.
And before interacting with her, as far as talking about things, was there anything that you did first?
I observed dried blood on her hands, and I asked her if I could collect it. Detective May read Ms. Mohammed her rights as far as the right for us, if she would waive her search rights, technically it's a search. She agreed, she signed the form. I used the distilled water and the cotton swabs to collect dry blood from each of her hands.
And as far as her rights that were given to her by Detective May, were you there at the time that occurred?
I was.
May I approach her?
You may.
Sure. Yes. Approaching with people's proposed exhibit, I believe is 6.
That's constitutional rights, sir.
Yes.
First, she was giving the form rights to search. That's what we talked about, not this right.
Correct, but those,
That's eventually technically did give constitutional rights to Afeni as well. But I'm talking about to collect the blood. It was a consent to search form.
I understand. And as far as the form here, when did this take place?
Right after I collected blood, the dry blood would appear to be dry blood. Detective May read Ms. Mohammed her constitutional rights directly from the form. She initialed next to each right. She signed the form. I see my signature on it, and I see Detective May's signature, recognize his signature on it as well.
Is it dated?
Yeah.
What's it dated?
7/10/25. At this point, it's 8:56 a.m.
Does that accurately reflect the document that with the constitutional rights that she was given by you and Detective May, and which everyone signed?
That's right. It's a copy of it, actually, but yes.
Okay. And during this period of time, while she was being given her constitutional rights, are there things that you look to when you're giving rights to determine if someone is intoxicated?
Well, we asked how far she went to school. She said she graduated high school. She stated she could read and write. She indicated she was not intoxicated. She was not on any drugs or alcohol. I asked her how much she got sleep the night before. She said at least 8 hours. She did indicate that she slept in her vehicle because she was currently homeless, but she said she's been doing it for a while now, staying out of her car. So that was a conversation.
Any concerns that you wouldn't be able to have a proper interview with her?
She appeared lucid. I did not see any signs of intoxication or anything like that. So I believe she was okay to talk to me.
Before I move to Exhibit 6, I just want to hand over things to Josh Jones in case he wants to voir dire on voluntariness.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Then people move to admit Exhibit 6.
Number 6 will be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. Tell me a little bit more. After the rights are signed, what's the next step for you in that interview with Detective May?
Usually we ask a question of what happened. I believe Detective May asked if she knew who Jennifer Harris was, and she stated she did.
Was this a recorded interview?
That's correct.
Have you reviewed it prior to today?
I did.
And does it accurately reflect the interview that you had with the defendant on July 10th of this year?
The video that I reviewed, that was attached to evidence.com, yes, that's an interview. I assume that's what you're gonna play, but for me to certify it, I would have to see it.
Okay. One moment.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I seen the music. My bad. Yeah, this is Macomb County. This happened in East Point. Sorry.
We're about to put up on the screen proposed Exhibit 7, Judge. Now, sir, do you recognize the still of this?
Yeah, it's an interview room. That's me in a blue shirt. Detective May is in a gray t-shirt with a baseball hat on, and Miss Muhammad, she's wearing our jail uniform, and at the time I told you she had a different hair, it was red in color.
People move to admit Exhibit 7, Judge.
Defense,
Objection.
be admitted by stipulation.
That was right after she got arrested.
Be published to the court.
Yes, thank you. We're going to start at 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Is the volume up on the TV? I'm not sure.
Yes.
One moment.
I don't think I closed.
So they're about to play the interrogation video, but let me read your comment, Veronica. You said about that McDonald's, they do not care if you have a house or not. They only care about the money. They do not even pay some of their workers good. Oh yeah, I know. I used to work at McDonald's. I'm a former employee. I worked there for about 1.5 years. And this was like back when COVID started. So this wasn't not too long ago. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, where you're coming from. They don't pay. They pay more than they did a while ago, but they still not paying enough.
Nope.
Okay, there's rights that you have. These protect you, they also protect myself and protect ours. This is called the East Point Constitutional Rights Certificate of Notification. I am going to be reading your rights 1 through 5, okay? And when I
Fix the camera right.
need you to verbally say, I'm gonna ask you, do you understand your rights? I don't want you to do this. No, just say yes. And, don't be nervous or don't, just say yes or no. Okay? We'll get through this. I promise. Okay? All right. Okay, number 1, I have a right to remain silent, and that I do not have to answer any questions put to me or make any.
That's true.
You understand? Okay. Number 2, any statement I make or anything I say can or will be used against me in a court of law. Okay. Number 3, I have a right to have an attorney, lawyer present before I answer any questions or make any statements. Understand? Okay. Number be appointed for me by the court prior to any question. Number 5, I can decide at any time to exercise my rights and not answer any questions of the agency. Okay, so what I need you to do, I'm gonna have you sign this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just put your initials.
So it was this right here, her Miranda rights, that and the social media rant that she did when she tried to play an innocent victim at the competency hearing, trying to play insanity or plead the insanity plea. That was why it didn't work, and it backfired against her because they pretty much read everything out. She signed it, and when she had her hearing at that competency hearing, the judge wasn't buying it or didn't buy it.
All right, now I'll let you sign it. Okay.
Let me pause real quick. Good morning, everybody. For the folks in the bushes, y'all can drop down and say what up, though. I'm just live streaming this preliminary hearing because I've been meaning to get around to it, but it's just something to do.
What's your highest level of education? Where'd you go to high school at?
From high school and like number around me.
So you have your high school diploma, right?
Yeah, it was actually in my folded inside my desk where it was this
Okay. So you know how to read, write, spell, all that. Smart girl, aren't you? Smart. What did you know? What's your favorite class?
I like Italian because I like I can learn this language. You know, a little Italian.
Little. Okay. We're gonna get down to business.
So I like how he first asked about her high school education because he's pretty much trying to. He's pretty much trying to prove like she's competent. She pretty much finished the high school. She can read it, read and write the 12th grade level. That was pretty much what he was trying to prove, and then didn't get into the story of what happened.
How hard is it gonna be? It's gonna make you. Okay. Where do you work?
I work.
Was it located in East Point? Prescription medication,
Yeah.
How many hours?
He also just asked, "Do you take any prescription medication?" She said no.
8 hours. Okay. Where did you sleep?
I slept in the shop because I didn't have enough money for hotel.
What do you do at McDonald's? Are you a clerk?
I prep food and then also I'm basically customer service. Perform excellent customer service.
Okay. Where are you working today?
I work
What time did you start?
at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.?
I clock in at 4:02 a.m.
Who is your manager there, or who is in charge of you?
Today was
Jennifer Harris?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any sort of issues with Jennifer Harris?
I had an issue with how I had to clock out 3 times in a row just because she was doing me no reason and be out. And she talking about without knowing. I was working for 3 weeks.
Was this today or was this prior?
That was today.
Okay, so has any time prior to this day today, did she make you clock out or not? How many times?
It happened, just missed the very time this week.
Third time this week?
Yeah.
And can you tell me why you think she's doing that?
Veronica said it looked like she snapped. She was trying to get a place to stay and get away for the guy she was with. Same thing, but different story over here. You also said people just don't know those jobs you got. You just got to pray to get a better job because they do not help you. Yeah, they don't. They don't pay enough at all. And she definitely snapped. I will say that. But I recall her saying that she was sent home early. She just told him that she was just punched out and working there for free. But I don't recall that story.
I think she was going there because I had spoke up to her and I felt like, trying to figure out what, I think it was sometime last week, it was, Friday, I'm not sure, but it was, I had told her, that racist shit gonna stop, that's why I had told her, because I got tired of how she kept on, like, acting like predatory, like, yeah, she was like, and they were there also, she was calling her, they were there.
So let me ask you this, can you tell me what kind of racist comments that she's making towards you or anybody? Give me an example.
Yeah, like, so sometimes when they look at their phones or something, and like, it was one time, the guy they find it showed her on her phone, like a Caucasian girl, she had like on fire, and she was like, that's KUID, and that's what she had said, you know, and then every time.
So anyway, so B meaning bitch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Has she ever used any derogatory remarks towards you that, give me an example of what she was
She
calling you?
said that she was blood one time to me, and she said she wanted to gun her children, but that just like made me feel like I got like scared of her, and but she's a really kind person.
Did she say anything racist to you today?
No, she didn't say anything to me that, the only thing she said to me was, you can clock out now, and then I was like, I'm working my shift today, like, you know, I didn't do anything wrong.
Did you leave after she told you that?
No, I stayed, I started working my shift, so I stayed there, I just kept working, nobody came over there to relieve me, so I just continued to catch everybody else, you know, and then I just happened to look at the app, and see that I actually clocked out. I didn't know she clocked out at 6, and I didn't even know I was still working. And that's when I had said, I didn't know you clocked out, you didn't even tell me that I'm done talking to you, so I didn't know you could leave.
So what did you do after that? Did you leave?
Yeah, I left, I said, this is wrong, I said, you keep bullying me, this is wrong.
Where did you go?
I went to the shop and then I had drove, went to the skate park, skated a little bit.
Okay, so,
It was after I left, I like, it was like 8 minutes or something.
so how long you were working for you then?
I worked it 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So she got you out at 6, you said, and
Yeah.
you don't sit down and
Yeah,
All right.
I was almost 2 o'clock.
Okay. You have to skate park.
Yeah, and then after that, that's when I just started listening to my music and I had started prayer. And I started thinking about like how she, everything that she was doing that was like wrong.
Did that piss you off? Okay, so at some point you returned to the McDonald's, all right? Okay. What did you have? How did you injure?
I had a knife and I walked with her and I stepped her.
How many times? Do you remember?
Yeah, she could have easily walked away and worked at another McDonald's if that was the issue. For real, for real. She didn't have to resort to what she did, Veronica. I agree.
Where'd you stab her at?
Her neck area.
Did you want to kill her?
It's not hurt to say that.
I can't hear the
That's what I
response.
felt.
Play that back, please.
How many knives did you have?
area.
Did you want to kill her?
I, yeah, it's not good to say that, that's my problem.
That's how you felt? How many knives did you have on you? Can you describe the knife that you stabbed her with? Well, explain what a French knife.
It's a sharp knife, like
Is it long? Okay. Did you walk up behind her? Did you guys argue? And you just walked up to her? Show me how you did it. You walked up to her and you just started doing what? Show me how you did it. You can stand up. It's okay. So I'm Jonathan. Show me.
okay, so I had her up in the shirt.
What color?
Yeah, I had her up in the shirt.
That's a shirt. Is that the one that had on? And then so I'm Jennifer, and you have the knife in your hand. I need you to show me how you do that. What did you do it like this? Show? It's okay. Did you start doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Do it where on my body? It's okay. Don't worry. It's okay.
And once she turned around, and then she told me.
Did you stab her on the stomach? Or just that?
I don't know, I might have.
So, you mentioned somebody, you heard a gunshot.
This one, I tried to say, hey, ow, and then I hit up, and I actually got that shot, and so I hit up, and I hit him, just like I hit behind like the prayer rack, and then I'm hanging out there, the side door, and then back and out, around the building, and yeah, and then I turn around, and then I was like, she's still here, she's like, turn around, and then just turn around.
So the blood on your hand, it was.
It came from the jacket,
You think it's a blood?
yeah, I believe it was, because I didn't get shot.
Right. Where did you get the knife? Was it?
I had brought it from Walmart. I had another cake I was going to make.
This is going to be an open and shut case, though, the way she's talking. Veronica says sometimes they do that, like if they want more money or they don't want to pay a worker that got a timer on there and tell them how many people are working there, then they sent them home early and they cut your check. Yeah, we didn't do that at ours. I don't know what they got going on at that one though, but at ours it was more professional, and it wasn't no drama really.
Here, but I'm going to start it.
When did you got it?
I wrote it when I wrote cake yesterday.
Oh. And you bought the knife at Walmart?
Walmart.
Has this lady, has she been bullying you for a while, or is this was just a 1 or 2 or 3 times?
She's been bullying me for a while.
Does she do that so for me?
She has been bullying. It was one of the girls she recently stopped messing with. Because now I guess I turned out to be what she wanted to bully, but she has been bullying me for a very long time. She played her little gangster music and there. She don't like how I play classical music. She doesn't insult me. Because I'm not like her, and she's always saying comments like, I don't know how to look up, which everything.
She said the manager play her gangster music and she knows I like classical music. Did she hear herself? First of all, it's you at work. So the music should not be the first thing that's on your mind when you come into work, but whether or not she is the general manager of the store. So it's up to her what to play on the radio if they do decide to play any music. That's crazy.
And that she was getting like other coworkers.
And then you saying the manager was racist towards you, but it sounded like you were more racist towards her. You talking about some gangster music. So what is considered what type of music was she playing? I mean, just because it's hip hop, that doesn't make it gangster music.
And then the day before yesterday, she called about me to one of the other coworkers. She was like, she pissed me off because it was sometimes customers hold me up at the window and it like take a long time and they hold the time up and then they start like yelling at me. But it's like sometimes I can't rush the customer. I think they're looking for your money. So.
Well, just so that I could get like an idea of where your headspace was, when you were stabbing her, well, how did that make you feel?
I can be honest,
Yes,
even if it sounds wrong.
yes.
Okay, I felt that it's supposed to help because I felt like I felt like she had like people under oppression who wasn't her free, she was going to be there. So that's how I felt when I was thinking. And I felt because if that's what I'm supposed to get, and that's what I'm, and if somebody want to take me down, then I would do my best to fight. And it's just the way it is.
What about now? Do you feel remorse or relief?
So like you said, like,
Do you feel bad about it, like remorseful that you did it, or you feel
I don't
relieved?
feel like
You feel relieved that you did it?
I feel better.
Feel better?
Yeah, but I'm not a cold person. That's why I found crazy to understand that. I'm being honest.
So you
Just
feel like
feel better that she's
That's like it was
a whole person. She's just burying herself with her own words, pretty much in this interrogation. She just said she's not sorry and she don't regret she did it. She said she feel better, but she's not a cold person.
like she, I feel like she was drugs with people. And she kept talking about her time she had and she.
Have you ever seen it down there? How did she ever pull it out and point it at anybody or say, hey, come here, check out my piece, or, piece me? No. It's just what you thought in your head at the time, right? Because of the way that she talks, like, she's gangster. You know what I'm saying? On blood, on this, and blood, and game, right?
Yeah.
What car is the handle on that? Do you know where that's out tonight? So you left it behind the store? Did you, after the shop was fired, or did you decide, bringing it back? Did you?
No, I had a duck when I heard it, it hit the grass and then duck and then I kind of caught on the floor and I ran out to the other side of the door. And then I went kind of ran to the shop.
And then,
That's when the guy walked out with the light green yellow shirt on. It's like the neon shirt.
what kind of truck do you have?
It's a 1500 Silverado 2021.
So,
But it's Wayne Fisher, like we shared the shop, like we're kind of, he's 60, he just turned 61. Because basically we were living together.
is that on,
Yeah, we were living together, but we got to fix it, it was like a lot of things to take care of. So he stopped, working with our papa, but he's my day fire and my executive.
We stopped just now at 1908. And Detective T, to the best of your ability, that was that encapsulated the defendant's explanation of what had happened that morning.
That's correct.
After the interview, what happened right after that?
I let her make a phone call to let her family know where she was and lodge her in a cell.
One moment. Can we approach sidebar just briefly?
Certainly.
She didn't do this way.
So I don't know if you even want to take it out.
He seemed angry as hell. Angry and disappointed.
was some of it that was garbled, but for the most part I picked up. But I'm gonna take some time when it's concluded to review, so.
Cameraman funny. He gonna zoom in on her face, then zoom in on the handcuffs.
No. If we get done,
Where's that?
I want to get this done tonight if we can. If I need time, I'll let you know.
You know, I was just asking, sorry.
No problem.
Thanks, Judge. Just 1 second. Judge. I have no further questions of this witness. Thank you.
Cross-examination. Any?
Just one moment, Judge. No, I have no further questions. I have no questions, Judge.
Very good, you may be excused. Any further witnesses on behalf of the people?
That was a smart because there was no
Witnesses on
cross
behalf of the defense?
on this witness. There was nothing you can cross him on. Everything he did was by the book and straight up and legit. And she was just pretty much telling her story. She should have asked for an attorney, but she chose not to.
None, Your Honor.
Very good, you want to take a few minutes for argument, or are you ready?
I'm ready.
I can.
Okay, argument please.
Thanks, Judge. Judge, today you've heard from 6 witnesses, but effectively 7 because of the interrogation. So you heard from Devontae Pace, Officer McLaughlin, Luke Moreno, Deborah McMillan, Lieutenant Hollish, and of course the interrogation brings in the statements of the defendant and her explanation of the things that went
Shauna
on.
Turnage?
Sorry, Kashana Turnage, then Lieutenant Hollish is 6, and then the defendant's statements through the interrogation that is her explanation of what happened and why she murdered Jennifer Harris. One of the interesting things is that we all understand now through what the witness testimony was from Ms. McMillan is that the defendant was irate that when she came to work, Jennifer Harris confronted her about not working and clocked her out. The defendant sat there for about an hour, intermittently working, and then discovering that she had indeed been clocked out, and then was told by Ms. Harris to leave. And she did. She left. She went to the skate park. She told Lieutenant Hollish that while she was there, she skated. I believe she said she prayed. And she thought about everything that happened and then everything that Jennifer Harris was doing wrong. And despite having that time to contemplate on everything, she went back in about an hour's time. And when she went back, she had a mask. She brought a knife that she said she bought from Walmart. And she walked through the back entrance where Mr. Moreno said that he looked over and saw the defendant walking up, masked. And she said very calmly, and he said she walked calmly, "Don't worry, I work here." She proceeds to walk through. And as Miss Harris is working, prepping the food, she sets upon her and begins to stab her. There was no argument. There was no talking. And as we saw from that video, the defendant stabbed Jennifer Harris around 13 times all over her body, but specifically in vital areas. She stabbed her in the neck, the chest, the scalp, and there are 23 individual sharp wounds that the medical examiner's office identified, some of which being 4 inches deep through her neck. All of those were aimed at areas where even one strike could kill a person. And when she was interviewed, she admitted that when she went in there to confront her, to kill her, that she intended to kill Jennifer Harris. And when she did this, it wasn't in a manic state. It wasn't some emotional outburst. She came in calmly to do all these things. She was prepared. So as far as what you've heard and what I've got to prove today with count 1 and count 2 is with premeditated murder, the law says that premeditation and deliberation may be inferred from the circumstances surrounding the killing. And there is 2 cases, Tilly, 405, Mish 38 at 44 in 1979.
So that's what's really being questioned with her case. Should it be first-degree murder or second-degree murder? Because they have to show premeditation to charge it with first-degree murder. From what she said, from what was said, she was clocked out and went to the skate rink or the skate park or something like that for about an hour, and then went back to the McDonald's with the weapon and mask on. So that sounds like to me the premeditation is that she thought about it when she was either at the skate park or leaving McDonald's.
Case. And Jolly, 442, Mish, 458 at 466, and that's a 1993 case. So the premeditation and deliberation.
Sorry, 442, Mish.
458 at 466. That's a 1993 case.
Thank you.
As far as what we had without her, any of her statements, we still have her leaving, going to another location, and then coming back prepared. She has a mask. She's got a hidden knife, and she enters through a back entrance. And then immediately, when she is near Jennifer Harris, she begins to stab her. The reason that you know that she intended to commit murder and kill her that day is when you're watching the video, there's a time when Jennifer Harris collapses and she's on the ground, and the defendant doesn't stop. She's prepared to stab her while she's on the ground, and the only thing that stopped her is, thankfully, Devontae Pace pulled out his .45 and shot at her. And on the video, the minute that shot gets off and you can see the gun through the window, she throws the knife and tears through the exit. So it's clear that even though Jennifer Harris had collapsed on her back, bleeding, that the defendant intended to finish the job on the ground. But now we know from her own statements that that's what she always intended to do, and that she's prepared to do it. One moment. So as far as her state of mind and what her motive is, even though I don't have to prove motive, we know what those things are. And we know why she did what she did and that she intended to do it. As far as count 2, dangerous weapon carrying with unlawful intent, we heard from Ms. McMillan that the knife that she saw the defendant using was somewhere between 5 and 7 inches in length. Additionally, we know that she brought that knife there with the specific intent to stab and kill Jennifer Harris, because that's what she told police. And she explained using Detective May as a prop, is that where she was stabbing was intentionally in the neck area and the upper chest. So based on everything you've seen today and what you've heard,
Whose family,
and the defense
Veronica?
on explanation, I
the
just
victim
ask that you bind over counts 1 and counts 2.
Thank you. Mr. Jones?
Judge, obviously the people are objecting to bind over.
Because if you're talking about the victim, yeah, there was an incident with her family. One of her relatives, her daughters, she tried to stab. She went to her car to get a knife and came back into the courthouse, and they found out, and she was tackled by court security, court deputies, or whatever they call them. But what triggered her is when they replayed there's an actual video. There was video footage found of the actual incident, and they played it in court. This is the second half. The first half of the hearing, I'm not sure why they didn't stream it, but they didn't put it up for testimony. But there's another video that showed the actual incident, but not the stabbing, but the aftermath of it. And it showed there was a guy, one of the witnesses who testified. He took out his gun and shot at the defendant. That's when she broke free and threw the knife and tried to run off. He already testified, but they didn't show his testimony, or they're not playing his testimony. But I believe on court TV somewhere, there's a video. I'm gonna show that one as well after this one.
One, I guess I want to.
Any defenses objecting to bind over?
What did I say?
You said people are
Oh,
objecting
yeah.
to bind over.
Offenses. I'm sorry. And where I was going really, Your Honor, is where the insinuation of, in her statements, of and how the people are identifying this insinuation that she bought the knife for this. And I hope it's clear to the court that based on her own statement, which the court, I believe, is relying, I know the people are relying on her own statement in part to satisfy the bind over, that she indicated that she bought it previously for something different. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be an insinuation from that, but I don't want the court, nor do I want the facts to be insinuated that it was bought for this purpose, for this incident. Because I don't think that, one, the facts reveal that at all, and even in her own statements, she doesn't make that.
It may not have been bought for that particular purpose, but she used the knife for that purpose. So her intentions on whatever she bought it for is really not really relevant in the actual incident of her making a decision to use that knife and stab him. I'm not sure where his argument is kind of going with it, because we already have video and eyewitness testimony that shows she stabbed the manager.
As a fact of itself. And so that I just want to clarify that. And I know that the people have introduced the interview. So if the court, again, if there's a hang up, the court can listen to that and make that determination. But again, I'm just going off of her explanation of why she had what she had at the time. Beyond that, I think it's clear as well from the testimony from the other witnesses that what we're talking about is it's a hooded mask. And again, I'm just identifying some, I don't want to say, clarifying some things on what we heard in facts, because it was very clear that it was some sort of zip up hood that went over the face. It's not a separate mask that was, bought for this purpose. It was attire, meaning, someone owning a hoodie and then that zips it up. I don't think it changes the fact that it zips up into a mask, but again, I think that those are facts that at least need to be clarified when we're talking about the bind over, specifically because we're talking about the difference between, at least for today's purposes, first and second degree. And there's that identification of premeditation or preparation to get you to first degree. So that's the reason I wanted to clarify those two facts, Your Honor. Otherwise, generally speaking, for count one, I would indicate that generally, when I say generally, that they generally have not met their burden on their elements, Your Honor, to show that there is a difference between first and second. In regards to count 2, as I'm sitting here listening to Mr. Powell wrap up his request for a bind over, I know we've had discussion that there was a knife used. There's been discussion that there was the potential of this knife that was identified at the scene, but there was not really any specifics. And I think that Ms. McMillan was identifying the knife that she saw. She wasn't referencing the difference between the length of the actual knife and the blade. And I say, legally speaking, there is a difference between that. I don't know if the people have really necessarily shown that even at a probable cause level. And the reason I say that, Your Honor, is because the length, the blade length, must be over 3 inches. And the only thing we necessarily had from Ms. McMillan is that it may be between 5 and 6, and she's just referencing the size of the knife. We don't have anything specific to the blade, which is really what the requirement is for count 2. We have no officer that identified that they collected it. We have an officer that says, well, they should have collected it, or they did collect it, but he couldn't testify beyond that. He didn't testify who collected it, whether or not they had the knife, or even presented a photo of this being the knife in some sort of reference to what length we're dealing with. And so with count 2, I think that they're lacking on that. I think we have some testimony there, but we don't have the specifics that we need, even at a probable cause standard, to identify that for that particular count. So in regards to my objection, Your Honor, again, I leave it.
Yeah, that was what happened. It was her family. Wait, who was her, Veronica? You got a defendant or victim? Sorry, because the victim's family, her daughter tried to attack the defendant at the courthouse with a knife when they replayed the video footage. There's an actual video footage of the incident of the stabbing. It was caught on tape, and it was testified by a witness as well that he shot at the defendant to get her to stop. And then that's when she threw the knife and I guess tried to run away. As far as the defendant's family, I have no idea. I really don't care about her at all.
To what I've already said about count 1, and then with count 2 specifically, I think they lacked on that proof. So I would ask for a dismissal on both, but more technical, or more specifically on count 2.
Thank you.
May I judge?
You may.
And I guess maybe I didn't enunciate whenever I was speaking, as I said, she brought the knife. I didn't say she bought the knife. I know that she said she bought the knife at Walmart because she had bought a cake at the same time, or she planned to bake a cake. So I said brought, I didn't say bought. I know that, or I never wanted to have anybody believe that I thought she bought that specifically for killing Miss Harris.
I appreciate that.
Additionally, as far as the testimony that we did have for the knife itself and the length of the knife, we have a witness saying that she saw the knife and that it was between in excess of 5 inches. As well, if you just look at the video, you can see the knife is a large butcher knife, not some small knife that would be below 3 inches. And so I'm relying on the video itself.
Call me crazy, but I really don't think the length of the knife really matters. It's the intent that she plans to use with it that really matters. And she stabbed her 13 times. Am I tripping, or does the length really matter to y'all? Whether if it was a kitchen knife or a butcher knife, pocket knife, it's the intent that she used it for.
And the testimony of the witness that we had on this scene.
In your honor, I have a flash drive for you. If the court would like to review any of these, I can provide it to your court officer to provide to you for your review.
Thank you. The court's going to take a recess to review my notes, and I will be back in due course with my ruling.
Just so we have a time, Judge, like 15, 30 minutes.
Mr. Jones, I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through my notes and my thoughts and the video, but as soon as I'm done, I'll be back out.
She passive aggressive. So they pretty much just made their arguments on whether or not it should be decided as first degree or second degree. she's gonna pretty much take a break to make that decision.
Do you have the,
All right, they just lounging around the courtroom. Come on, man. All right, here we go. We was waiting on the judge to get back. That's what they doing. All this extra stuff they was doing. I don't know. They was just taking a break. I think at some point you'll hear audio.
for the record, please?
Kumar Palapu for the People P74099.
Chris Bourbon on behalf of the people, PA 1013.
Your Honor, Josh Jones on behalf of Ms. Mohammed, who stands to my right.
And Catherine O'Meara Bowman, P53823, on behalf of Ms. Mohammed.
Thank you. You may be seated. The court has carefully considered the testimony of the 6 witnesses today, that being number 1, Devontae Case, an eyewitness, witness number 2, Officer McLaughlin, witness number 3, Luke Marino, witness number 4, Deborah McMillan, manager at the McDonald's, witness number 5, Deshauna Turnage, employee of the McDonald's, witness number 6, Detective Hollish, who took the statement of the defendant. At this stage, it's not for the court to determine guilt or innocence. This is a probable cause hearing, and the court must be satisfied that the prosecution has presented evidence by a probable cause standard as to both charges, count 1, first-degree premeditated murder, and count 2, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent. Probable cause is a very low evidentiary threshold under Michigan law. In viewing the evidence in the light most favorable to the prosecution, the court makes the following findings. Count 1, first-degree premeditated murder. The people presented testimony showing that the victim was found on the floor of the restaurant in a large pool of blood, suffering from what appeared to be multiple stab wounds. This clearly establishes that a homicide occurred by a criminal agency. The manager of the McDonald's, that being witness number 4, Deborah McMillan, testified that she heard a commotion, came around, found the victim on the floor bleeding. Regarding the intent and premeditation, the defendant stated in her own interview that she had left the location earlier. By her own testimony, she testified, or she stated to the police that she was told to leave and she didn't leave, and then became angry later because her boss had clocked her out. She indicated that she left, she went to the park, she prayed, and thought about how she had been wrong. She admitted that she possessed a long chef's knife. And when I talk about the chef's knife, Mr. Jones, you made argument that there was insufficient evidence with regard to the 3-inch or being 3 inches or more on the blade. The court did review the interview by the police of the defendant and the graphic scene once again, and the knife in there clearly is over 3 inches. And the testimony of Deborah McMillan that the blade was, as she put it, which looks like 6 inches. We don't know if that's the knife or not, but in the video of the stabbing, you can see the blade of the knife. The blade of the knife was rather large, and by defendant's own statements, had indicated that it was a chef's knife. So that being said, she admitted that she possessed this knife. She admitted that she wanted her dead. I think her statement to the police was, I felt like I wanted her dead. I'm not a cold person. Another thing that was interesting, or interesting, that's a poor choice of words, corroborates the testimony of witness number 5, Kashana Turnage. In the interview at the police station, while the demonstration of how the stabbing occurred, you can see the defendant's fingernails, and it was blue and white as described by Kashana Turnage, I'm sorry. So the fact that she left, had time for cool reflection, and returned back to the location, and as witness number 3 testified, appeared to be casual and calm while she walked in. Her statement that she wanted her dead, and she knowingly carried out that plan, purposely arming herself with this knife, wearing a hoodie and a mask, as witness number 4 testified, appeared to be a Jason mask, and witness number 3 testified that it looked like a ski mask. Taken together, this evidence is more than sufficient for a person of ordinary prudence to reasonably believe that the defendant intentionally, with premeditation, killed the defendant by a probable cause standard. The court therefore finds that the people have met their burden as to count 1. As to count 2, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent, testimony clearly established that the defendant possessed and carried a long chef knife. The defendant admitted that she brought the knife for the purpose of stabbing the victim, and she did in fact stab the victim with that weapon. The unlawful intent requirement is fully supported by her statements and the eyewitness testimony. Accordingly, the court finds probable cause exists that the defendant carried a dangerous weapon with intent to use it unlawfully against another person. So for the reasons stated on the record, the court does find that the prosecution has met their burden as to both counts. There is sufficient evidence as to each element of the offenses charged. I therefore am binding the defendant over to circuit court for further proceedings as charged. Do we know who the arraigning judge is in this matter?
Judge Massaroni, Judge.
That's correct.
Judge Massaroni, here's his arraignment on the information on Tuesdays at 9 a.m.
So that was the judge's decision. Pretty much he will be charged on the first-degree murder count, and she will be bound over for her arraignment. So she's not leaving anywhere. You can see the look on her face while she's looking like that.
For in custody.
It'll be December 2nd, Judge. I'm sorry.
We picked December 2nd. Be December 2nd at 9 a.m. Judge Massaroni, and I need you to fill out the half sheet.
I'm doing that now, Judge.
And I want to thank both sides for your professionalism. And that concludes this matter for today.
All right. Have a nice weekend, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor. We will provide the form as soon as it is completed.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time.
I'm going to return the medical examiner's report.
Yeah.
Took it so damn far. a senseless killing. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys so far. I'm gonna do another video in a minute, but appreciate all those that pulled up and popped out. Thank you, Veronica. For those that was in the bushes, thank you as well. And don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment. Have a good one.